us about today.
Well, I just had been diagnosed for colon cancer.
Oh, man.
And like I said, I'm an atheist, and I'm really comfortable with that. I mean, I'm okay with it. But I've got a sister, and we had been estranged for several years, and, this has come along. She's a fundamentalist Christian, and we've been estranged partly because of my atheism and some other things going on. But I'm not going to get into that. But she's been contacting me every day since I've had the diagnosis, and she's come to visit me. I mean, those things are nice.
Yeah.
But she keeps bringing up
Mark?
so she can see me in heaven.
Oh, there.
And I have not been, the only thing I've done is say, it's okay, Connie. I'm right with God. It's all right. Don't worry about it. And it's just kind of hard to deal with. I want to say, Connie, I don't want to hear that.
Mark, you're well within your rights to be able to talk about your relationship with her and say, hey, I want to continue this relationship with you. I love when you visit, and I love you. That said, this is something that I really don't want to talk about, and I need you to respect that. You're well within your rights to say it. And if she has trouble with those boundaries that you've established, you can say, hey, if you're not willing to be respectful of the boundaries that I'm setting, I can't have you involved in my life. There has to come a time that, somebody needs to recognize that there's consequences to their actions, and that you can't force your relationship on somebody and force your religion down their throat all of the time. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, man.
Yeah, this is something I'm actually going to be speaking about at the top of the Atheist Experience at 4:30, and I've already promised people I'm going to talk about it then, so I don't want to go through it all now. But these situations are difficult, and yours is easily more difficult than what I had to deal with this week. And I had to make a decision. I don't want to alienate family members unnecessarily, because these are people that I love and care about and who love and care about me. But I also can't allow people who are going to be a toxic, negative influence on my life to keep doing what they're doing. And so I have to set some boundaries. And it was, what I ended up doing was saying, hey, I'm happy to have conversations, but don't send me stuff like this again. And let's not go down this road over and over. And in your case, getting your sister to realize that you understand what her concerns are, and you'd rather not spend all of this time constantly rehashing that you're not doing this to hurt her. You're not doing this, as in any sort of negative way. You're just living your life. You are convinced of what you're convinced of, and you would like for these relationships, through the process of hopefully recovery, or for however much time you actually have left, to be focused on, the joys of life and interacting with people in a way that is positive. Because why would you, we all have misery in our life, and you've gotten a terrible diagnosis, and even though what she thinks she's doing this out of love for your benefit, but if it's having nothing but a negative impact on your life, then you either have to get her to realize that she needs to stop that, or just have to cut off contact, because you can't keep having all the negativity, even if they think it's positive. And one of the things that I've done in the past is go to people who do things like this and say, okay, you believe there's a God, you believe this God cares about me, et cetera, you believe in the power of prayer and all this. Instead of coming to me with your testimony, instead of coming to me with your concerns, take it to God. It's his issue, and everything's going to happen according to his plan, and et cetera. And now our relationship doesn't have to be one of conflict. It can be one of love and family and appreciation, and you can take it all to God. He's the one who's supposed to care about this, and I'd rather just live my life and enjoy it and not have the conflict all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, my atheism has been a comfort I mean, I don't have to worry about, I was raised a fundamentalist Christian. I was a deacon in the church, just all of that. And about 15 years ago, I finally just saw, this is just not, well, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, I don't have to worry about all that. I don't have to worry about going before some judgmental God that, I don't have to worry about that, because all I know is one of these days I'm going to go to sleep. I'm not going to wake up again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll be just like before I was born. And that's okay. I'm good with that. In fact, I'm real good with that.
Yep. I think you've got, an incredibly positive outlook on the situation. I share your feelings on this, that, I don't have a lot of the concerns and fears that I had when I was a believer. Just, you got to try and draw as loving a boundary as you can around your family members and get them to say, look, I just want you to respect my wishes about my life, and I'll respect your wishes about your life. If we can't do this cooperatively and with compassion, then we just can't do it. And the other day, like Friday, I had to make a decision because I was going to take an action that might have resulted in cutting someone out of my life. And I had to be okay with that as a possible result. And it turns out I was absolutely okay with it.
Yeah. And this is after a long time of trying to maintain those relationships. And unfortunately, in these situations, the onus gets put on us to be the ones who are kind about it, who are pragmatic, who are understanding and forgiving. And we're not going to tell you where that line is. You're welcome to draw that line where you feel necessary. I mean, I know that for a lot of people, it's a lot smaller. You don't have that big of a push. There are family members who will say, "Oh, God loves you," or "God bless," when they hang up the phone, or something like that. I'll pray for you as a reaction. And a lot of times, what may seem like proselytization is their way of saying, "I love you."
It's sometimes it's the only. What's that?
The God bless and those platitudes and those things.
Yeah.
But that really doesn't bother me. Somebody could say, "God bless,"
exactly.
I'll pray for you. I'll say thank you.
When I talk about this later today, you'll see that we're in the same boat, because a lot of it, sometimes it's just, I don't have any other language to express this. When you hear somebody is going through something difficult, I've heard, well, I'll pray for you, pop out of the mouths of atheists on occasion, because we don't always have the language to really deal with that.
And so don't jump. I mean, and this isn't specifically to you, Mark, but it's kind of advice to people, who are watching. The advice is don't jump down their throats, right away.
Until they deserve it.
Yeah.
Until that is exactly what needs to happen when you've politely tried to say, hey, stop, hey, stop, hey, stop. And now it's like, okay, you're going to stop, or we're just not going to talk anymore because this is too negative. There's a pastor friend of mine who sent me a text message a couple hours ago that, was happy birthday and I love you and I'm praying for you. Am I mad at that person? Not really. It's a little annoying to kind of, twist the birthday into the time to do that kind of thing, but I understand where he's coming from. It's a little different from the birthday card that I received that I'll talk about later today. But the key thing is you get to set whatever boundaries you're comfortable with on your life. And for me, the balance scale was, is it going to be more sad for me to keep letting them do this thing that creates conflict in my life than it is for me to cut them out of my life so that conflict goes away? That's it. It's just a simple cost-benefit analysis.
What's strange about all this is I had not talked to her in maybe once or twice in 3 years, because she had decided and I had decided that wasn't a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Or I had decided, I got to where I just wouldn't participate. She would call with a bunch of negative stuff and I'd just hang up. I just didn't participate.
Yeah.
And now I don't mind the God bless her, I'm praying for you, or all that. I really don't mind that, because, like I said, I grew up with that, and it doesn't bother me that much. I know that it's meant in a positive way. But what bothers me is I want to make sure you're right with God, because I want to see you.
Yeah.
See you in heaven.
That is so.
I want you to be there with me.
It's almost a direct quote from the birthday card letter that's sitting over there. I mean, if you catch the Atheist Experience either later this afternoon or after it's recorded, you'll know that you and I are in the same boat in some regards. I will say, though, since you're in Austin, there's a community here. If you feel like coming on down to the building, getting up and about, interacting with folks, and if you need anything, there's a community of people here who are often eager and willing to help out, and we'd love to have you down sometime.
Totally, man.
I was down there one Monday and just kind of reading and talked to Mark a little bit. And I met Jamie and Claire came in, and then I got sick, and I haven't been back. So.
Well, anytime you feel well enough to come out, you're always welcome here, brother.
But I may just grab me a lift or something and come down there in a little bit. Just
sounds good.
Hang out.
There's people on the other side of the glass from us who are already smiling at that prospect. So.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, we hope to see you a little later today.
All right.
All right.
Hey, and thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.